Heart rate's 120. Hi, thank you very much, and good afternoon. Standing here this afternoon and looking out at this community, I feel deeply humbled. I first entered this hall when I was a scared 12-year-old freshman. My advisory was right up there on the second floor with Mr. Grinstead, the permissive theater teacher that always made us laugh. When I walked across the stage at St. Teresa's in 1983, I never imagined I would someday return to accept the Distinguished Alumni Award. Frankly, I suspect there are a few sisters looking down from heaven and shaking their heads at me. Really? That one? Because I was, after all, a bit of a rebel. I wasn't a fan of being told what to do, and I wore a question authority button, which I still have, on my uniform. I wore it on my uniform most every day. The beauty of St. Teresa's and the sisters that led it is that they didn't try to extinguish that spark of good trouble. They taught me how to direct it. I was educated my whole life by strong women. My mother went to dental school when I was in high school, and nuns. The Sisters of Loretto at Loretto Academy, and then here by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet. The Loretto sisters taught me the importance of education and justice. They were activists, and I admired how they lived their principles. The CSJ sisters taught me their charism, to serve thy dear neighbor without distinction. That phrase, without distinction, has shaped my life. It is not conditional. It does not serve when it's convenient, or serve only those who look like you. It is a radical call to action. At home, my parents taught us another principle from the Gospels, which was to whom much is given, much is expected. And together, that family teaching and the sisters' charism gave me a moral compass that I still use every day. I loved being at an all-girls school where achievement and service were expected and not exceptional. Teachers like Ms. Pat Gallagher taught feminism and women's studies before it even had a name. She never questioned the power of her students to go out into the world and do big things. And 42 years later, she is right there cheering. Our junior year religion class was called Social Concerns of the Gospel. We studied the 4 Gospels and were asked to apply them to the world around us. The class was a revelation to me. I realized for the first time that religion was not really about kneeling and being pious. It was about action. It was about the gospel calling us as Christians to end poverty, to help those less fortunate, to love one another as neighbors, and to do no harm. We learned that faith is not passive, it is lived. The Beatitudes tell us, blessed are the merciful, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. And the Gospel of Matthew commands us, whatever you do for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you do for me. Through these teachings, I understood what true discipleship looked like. The Gospels weren't meant to sit quietly on a shelf. They were meant to move our hands and our hearts into action. That spoke my language then, and it still speaks my language. I was drawn to a vocational life. Being a physician is not what I do, it is who I am. Every day in the emergency department and at the clinics I've helped build, I get to help people, alleviate suffering, and teach the next generation of physicians to provide compassionate care. I love being a force in medical education, and that's not by accident. Sister Alma taught me that the word doctor comes from the Latin word docere, which means to teach. And that is what this community and the sisters modeled so beautifully for me. Teaching, guiding, forming us not for careers, but for lives of purpose. The true meaning of Christianity, as I learned it here, is not narrow. It's not political, it's not selective. It is active, outward-facing, and rooted in dignity and forgiveness. Sister Harriet always started each science class with St. Paul, who wrote in his letter to the Galatians, do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through love, serve one another. Through love, serve one another. That's our directive, and that's what it means to be Christian. It means supporting those who are less fortunate. It means fighting against those who would justify violence or turn away from suffering. It means working to end genocide, to feed the hungry, to heal the sick, and to make the world safer for all God's children. It means treating every person as if they were Christ himself, because that is what Jesus told us to do. Not sometimes, not only for our own, always. Living the gospel is a tall order, and I have not done this alone. One of the greatest blessings of my life is the friendships I formed at St. Teresa's. My STA lunch table still has a group text. When I caught COVID from patients in the ER before there was a vaccine available, they showed up to my house with groceries, toilet paper, which was like gold at the time, flowers, and a daily Starbucks delivery, thank you, Anne. When the first cold snap happens every year, I start worrying about my friends who are living in homeless camps. Mary Jane starts scouring thrift stores for winter boots. Renee, Dana, Mary Beth, and Ann have sent me hats, gloves, underwear, blankets, snacks, and socks for all my patients. And Julie, you've walked with me through every life challenge since I was 13. I am standing here in no small part because of the support of these women, my sisters in spirit. You've put up with all my crazy dreams, there are a lot of them, and helped me make them real. St. Teresa's girls get things done, and my lunch table proves it. I love supporting STA because I know that the students are being formed not just in academics, but in values that will sustain them for a lifetime. The Sisters of St. Joseph taught us to serve thy dear neighbor without distinction. That isn't just a motto, it's a challenge. The world needs your courage, it needs your compassion, it needs your willingness to question authority and to act when you see injustice. And to my family, the sisters and teachers, those here and those who have gone before us, thank you for believing in me, even when I was a little hard to believe in. You taught me that faith without works is dead. You taught me that Christianity is lived, not proclaimed. So tonight, as I accept this award, I do so not for what I have done, but for what we have done together, teachers, friends, family, and colleagues. And I do so mindful of the call of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, the patron saint of physicians, from everyone to whom much has been given, much will be required. Thank you for giving me so much. I'll try to keep living up to it. I appreciate it.